So earlier this week, I had a situation happen with my eye. I had what is called a stroke in the eye, and it is super wild. And I also, that's the backstory, I also talked about this in my weekly video newsletter. It used to be a regular newsletter. Now it's a video newsletter. Not because of this. I'd done that prior. But the reason I share this with you is I hope something like this doesn't happen to you, and I want to share my experience so that you can learn from it and take proper care of yourself. I wasn't taking care of myself. Anyway, all that to say, here's the video that I sent out to my email list. You can be a part of that email list if you go to gmarkphillips.com/subscribe. We don't necessarily talk about things that are happening in the world. I don't talk about things that are happening in the world in that video. I talk more about playing the game of life that we all are doing and how to win it. It's in conjunction with One Life, the system that I created to win the game of life and ultimately do your mission. And here is this one right here, which is how to find your mission in life. It used to be called how to find your purpose, but it's like 41 ways that you can think about and contemplate and ask yourself, like journal style, right? Open up your mind and your consciousness to let this information come out. Because I believe the blueprint or the plan or the mission or the purpose is in our hearts and in our body wisdom, and we just need to unlock it. But you can get that when you sign up to my video newsletter at gmarkphillips.com/subscribe. That's part of One Life right there. That's the main section. That is the section. It's literally from that system. And it's all those ways to find your mission in life. Because I'll tell you one thing, I don't want to make this video too long because I still want to share the video, the newsletter video with you. But I'll tell you one thing. When you are lying in a hospital bed and you've had a situation happen to you in life that could have been life-threatening, they treat the stroke of the eye similar to a stroke of the brain because there's some connectivity there. Now, they didn't find any problems, and like I said, I take very good care of myself dietary and supplementation-wise, but I let myself go, and I was primarily the cause of this, and I'll talk more about that in the future because I want to do a video sharing my whole experience. But you get real close and you get real cozy with the idea of, was I on my purpose in life? Was I doing my mission, or was I distracted or discouraged or defeated, right, by the enemy that we're all playing against? And you know who that enemy is. You maybe call that person or that entity or that thing a different name, but we all know there's only one enemy, and it's the enemy that promotes fear, and it's the enemy that promotes doubt and anxiety and worry and all the things that we don't need as a conscious creator going through life. This video got way too long, and I didn't mean for that. Anyway, you have a lot to think about when you're in the hospital bed going, if this was my last day, would I be happy with the life that I lived? Was I on my purpose? Was I doing my mission, right? Was I being nice to people? You know, being a good human being, that also flashed through. Anyway, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Here is the video that went out to my email list. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for checking out this week's video newsletter. I appreciate you. Today I want to talk about the value of taking care of yourself. I had what appears to be a major health incident happen to me on Monday, and I want to take an opportunity to help you learn from me what not to do and what to do. On Monday, Monday morning early, I had a central retinal artery occlusion in this eye, my good eye. We all have a dominant eye. That was my dominant eye, is my dominant eye. I went blind. I sat up out of bed, and sitting on the edge of the bed, and my eye went completely gray. It was like looking through gray or white frosted glass. It was completely offline. It was like someone pulled a shade down over my eye. Fortunately, I had the foresight and, because of prior knowledge and also people in my life saying, hey, you should probably go check that out. I went straight to primary care, then an eye clinic, and they were able to do a full exam. And then I was right next to the hospital, and they sent me over to the hospital. So I kind of had the, red carpet rolled out for me because the eye clinic called and said, hey, this guy just had it's called a stroke of the eye is what it is. Apparently it is a major medical event because it can be in combination with the real stroke, the big stroke, right? Mine wasn't. They did CAT scans, MRI, they did check my heart. Fortunately, mine wasn't. I kind of have a feeling what caused mine, and here is what I want to share with you to help you avoid something like this. And tell the people in your life and your loved ones about this too. Stroke is I believe it's the third leading cause of, maybe it's either death or debilitation. It's the third leading cause of problems in health. It is the first leading cause of debilitation. So I hope you take it as seriously as I have been. Again, I'm a little shocked this happened, but I do have a feeling why it happened. There are a number of supplements you can take to reduce your stroke risks. Omega-3s, I think D, other ones off the top of my head, I can't quite remember. There's some B vitamins in there as well, but you can search up on YouTube, which I highly recommend you do that if you want to build stroke prevention vitamins and supplements into your vitamin stack. The other thing, fortunately, that I did was take 2 aspirin about half an hour to an hour after I noticed that, and my morning vitamin stack. So, I'm optimistic. You never know. The eye doctor said, hey, you could have total blindness in that eye. It's coming back slowly but surely. I now have about, 30 to 40% of the vision back, and it's coming back slowly but surely. But here's the other thing I want to share with you. It was, in my opinion, I've been under too much stress trying to solve all the problems in the world, which aren't mine to solve, and for other people, like trying to, be too worried about other people's path and walk through life. That's a big no-no. I'm going to change on that. Burning both ends of the candle at night, using sleep time to do research, do work, worry about things. I hadn't been drinking enough water. I put a little Celtic sea salt in my water. I hadn't been drinking enough water. That's a factor too. And also self-talk, right? I've been I'm agitated about the state of the world. I'm agitated about I have been agitated about, the way the government is, getting into our lives in a more aggressive way. The healthcare system overall, I love doctors and nurses, but the system as a whole I find to be, suspect. Let's just leave it at that. But those 4 factors are what I think contributed to this, because like I say, they saw no problems in my carotid artery and no brain damage from any type of a stroke. It was because I stressed this eye out. That night, I've been staying at someone's house as they're going through some medical issues of their own. And that night I was up at 1 helping them do something. And I didn't go back to sleep. I was on the phone, researching, investigating, looking, planning, scheming, all the things we do for like 4 hours, not getting that sleep time, not drinking enough water, worried about them, worried about other things. And I think, you can see the sequence of events that leads up to something like this. And so I hope you can learn from me. Take care of yourself. I've put some videos up on YouTube. I'll be talking more about this as we move forward, because again, like I say, even years ago and most recently within the last handful of months, I've been really looking at stroke prevention from a supplementation and diet and exercise standpoint, and I build that into my personal wellness regimen, and I hope that you will do that too. So there you go. I didn't mean for this video to get that long. It looks like it's getting up there. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you, and talk to you in the next one. Bye-bye.